Hey, this is Notser. This is my Tier 9 Japanese aircraft carrier, Taiho. I just got it. I've been really enjoying my aircraft carriers recently. Part of that is because they're to the state where I can actually do something, and I get to skip the Lexington. The Lexington was just awful. I got like 120,000 XP. It just drove me insane. But we finally got the Essex. And yeah, aircraft carrier gameplay for me so far has been alright. And yeah, of course, someone has to show their displeasure with my very existence by shooting me, you know, whatever. Not like I said anything to him, of course. Do I ever? So, I want to share this game because it's pretty awesome. I'm going a 2-fighter, 3-torpedo, 2-dive bomber build, and the basic goal is to find any isolated target, hit him with my torpedoes. Most likely the flood will be... Maybe the flood will hit. If the flood does hit, you know he's going to use damage control, and then we follow up with dive bombs. That's basically the plan. While all that's going on, I'm going to try and shadow with my fighters just to make sure. Now, if someone's better at the game than I am, you know, maybe they know what they want to do. But for me, I can't handle protecting my fighters, protecting the team from the enemy aircraft, and having to handle all this stuff. So the enemy Hobodosk tried to be sneaky. We lined him up, and we just dropped the torpedo hammer on him. I'm hoping that we can get a reasonable amount. So maybe a combination of him killing off some of the fighters. It just felt like only one torpedo hit him. I don't believe I dropped too close on that follow-up, but 50% of his life is gone, and he's not going to capture C point. So there's that. Now, the Taiho also has the ability to have 3 fighters. You drop one of the torpedoes, and I believe the other build is... I want to say it has an extra dive bomber. So it's sort of 2-3-2, 3-2-2, 2-2-3. You can't really go wrong with a build. You've always got a super solid build, unlike the Americans where you can absolutely go wrong. And he pulls a Notser, so of course I'm going to attack him. And he was, alright, I'm coming for you, aircraft carrier. And I'm like, ooh, I'm shaking in my pants. Oh no, the Hobodosk. Oh. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. You're done. I'm sorry, man. I can't help it when people like talk mad crap in a video game. It's like, oh, ooh. I much prefer this to someone actually being angry. Like, I just hate your guts. I'm sure he just dislikes that I showed attention to him. It's whatever, right? It's whatever. I know in 5 minutes, so at, what is that? 11:00 exactly, 1100, he's going to be on my ass and killing me, right? That's the goal. Oh, by the way, there's a ton of battleships in this queue, so this is perfect for an aircraft carrier. I just need to find isolated targets. So, my torpedoes have rearmed. I'm trying to send my fighters around looking for the enemy fighters while they are rearming. My dive bombers are ready to go too. They're going to shadow wherever I send my torpedoes, and I'm going to wait about 20 seconds. So the flood has been put out, damage control is on cooldown, and he's no longer immune to dots. That's the whole plan. I know this isn't like, you know, rocket science, but this is a live game, so you can see the exact waypoints that are being drawn. A lot of the replays, especially for aircraft carriers, are so horrible because you don't see any of these waypoints. You just see the indicator just show up and the person's point of view. You don't really get a lot out of that. I'm hoping that this is more useful. So, enemy North Carolina, I've got Tier 9 aircraft. Yeah, the North Carolina has good AA, but it's a North Carolina pretty isolated from most of the targets, and I'm trying to decide if I want to continue the attack. And I'm wasting time, definitely. If I was a better player, I would have grouped them up before I was even close to the target. And we're going to draw it just right. It looks like he's turning away, so I'm not afraid to drop close to him and just evenly spread it around, so he really doesn't have a good way out of this. And we take out the North Carolina. Minimal losses. Kurosakua first. We're going to go for you too, buddy. My fighters are still up. Most of my team is grouped up as a group over by A point. The isolated ones are the ones that really need the fighter protection, in my opinion. If you know better as an aircraft carrier captain, let me know. But the way my team is deployed, I can't be in two places at once. So I'd rather try and keep my fighters over my attack path, take out the enemy isolated, and expect that the team, the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ships that are all grouped up over by A can handle themselves. That was my intention here. And I'm also kind of looking for the Hoborovsk. Where could he potentially be? We know he's not capturing C. And we know... Oh, there he is. Someone caught sight of him. So now I'm going to try and keep him shadowed. A couple enemies are in at B. I really wish A point would capture because we have a dominant force over there. There's really no excuse. Going to set up an attack on the Grosso Kua first. He has his fighter, but, you know, that's whatever, right? First one, just trying to absorb. And conveniently, the way the attack went, he was able to kill off the fighter and have 2 attacks with full accuracy. Of course, the second one doesn't set a fire. We knew it wouldn't do that, right? You don't get that kind of luck, Notser. Yeah, usually I have horrible dot luck. And just confirming that the Grosso Kua first hasn't done anything to change the outcome so far. My torpedo bombers are coming up. I like to wait for all of them. And a friendly Grosso Kua first. That's a really awkward position you're in, my friend. Really awkward. And we're going to send our torpedoes to go take them out. Hopefully, we can take the Grosso Kua first out. Friendly North Carolina captures C point. Team just captured A point and really put the bind on the enemy. I don't expect my friendly Grosso Kua first to survive, though. That's the unfortunate reality of the situation. I shouldn't try to overextend too hard to protect him. I just don't have a way of doing that. It's better to make sure that the North Carolina is alive, keep the enemy destroyers from moving forward, because there's really nothing in between me and these DDs except for the threat that fighters exist. And I always find myself an aircraft carrier, more so than any other ship, you can really screw them up with information gathering. I just never feel confident on stream. I always feel like either someone knows who I am, they queued into me because the aircraft carrier queue is so long, you basically could guarantee, especially North America, because we have a small population, you could basically guarantee to run into me. So I always feel like in the back of my mind, as an aircraft carrier captain, there's some funny business going on stream. But when I'm off stream, generally they have really no idea what I'm doing. Conveniently, the fighters are not shadowing me all the time. You know, it just could just be me feeling like it just feels better playing off stream as an aircraft carrier, but, you know, whatever. Enemy Grosso Kua first, we're going to set up an attack. This one was a little away from the other, so I'm going to try and keep him away. Since he's turning away, I feel okay dropping a little bit close to the target, knowing that by the time the torpedoes actually arm, he'll be outside of the range, and we just devastate him. Completely change the balance of power right here. Friendly North Carolina takes him out, and that's what an aircraft carrier needs to do. You need to try and enhance those 1 versus 1s. Because if you don't do that, it's going to be a long day. The Grosso Kua first in a 1-on-1 versus the North Carolina should absolutely wreck him. Now, you also have to comment on the aircraft carrier you're playing against. There are aircraft carrier captains that do a great job of strafing, a great job of dodging strafes. I need to get better at that. For whatever reason, and here we go, he's attacking me right here. Okay, that's a fair attack. Definitely a mistake. I was trying to work towards the Fletcher. I felt the Fletcher coming towards me. My team should be able to win A, and I'm hoping that North Carolina will capture C point before he does anything hasty. But now we're in sort of a wait period as our torpedo bombers are rearming. The enemy team is in the center of the map. The game is fairly close. Ooh, look at what we got here. Now, I could have probably just done a straight attack on him. And I'm screwing this up. I felt like that was his last position. Man, I'm really screwing up this drop pattern. I think what I should have done, immediately when I saw him, I should just dropped right there. Just across the horizontal, you know, the perpendicular line. I felt like that might have been the best chance to kill him right there, get a rearm, and go. If you're the Graf Zeppelin, definitely do that. The Graf Zeppelin, it doesn't care the angle of attack by its dive bombers. And if you are going up against the Graf Zeppelin, it doesn't care the angle of attack for its dive bombers. It can just zoom in and zoom out. It's kind of interesting, the gameplay that the Graf Zeppelin has, but I just want you to understand that no matter the angle, it will have the exact same draw pattern. So the Graf Zeppelin should be in and out all the time. Torpedo bombers are ready. It looks like, I think the Kiev headed over towards C point, and that would mean he's outside of his smoke. So I think he inferred that I wasn't going to come back, but the second I see that he's capturing, of course I'm going to drop on him. Japanese have a little bit better accuracy, trying to spread it out. We get the drop successful. C is protected. Torpedo bombers are ready to go. I would love to take out that Fletcher. We've got a friendly Conqueror sort of in the center. He is my first and last line of defense, and I couldn't believe at the time. I had just scouted those torpedoes probably 20 or 30 seconds prior. You saw it on the minimap, and he sails directly into them. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if an aircraft carrier spots the torpedoes, they're spotted until they disappear from the game, right? And I'm trying to force this Fletcher to turn, and I'm slowly rotating around. I'm gonna just do my best to just give him no way out. And yeah, I'm probably wasting torpedoes, but I don't really care. We gotta get him dead. He lets out one random torpedo attack, and this game is really close. Friendly North Carolina, he's got to go up against a couple enemies. I am sort of in a position where I can't help. I'm rearming. And that's one other thing that I notice so much more as an aircraft carrier than any other. It's so easy to blame you. Like, I just did an attack on another part of the map trying to help people out. I'm rearming. I can't be everywhere. And the team player in me, I feel so guilty. I feel like I should be able to do something more. But I think so far the game has been going pretty well from our standpoint. The North Carolina does want me to help him out, and I definitely am coming to help him out. But I still felt like that Fletcher was important. The Kiev was important. I don't think I could have, and I spotted the torpedoes for the Conqueror, but it didn't make a difference. I don't know what else I could have done to help my teammates survive. And the enemy fighter, he's sort of hunting, I think. He's trying to detect where my aircraft are going to be, and I came from a weird angle, and it was very easy. As long as I knew he wasn't going to strafe me, I didn't really care. I'm just going to be as optimal with my ammo usage right now. He can't get away. It's all cool. There's no reason to strafe a single fighter like that. There just isn't. It's just a waste of ammo. We'll kill him. He can't get away. My torpedoes are ready to go. My dive bombers are ready to go. We are going to try and find and isolate. There is a Conqueror, which I would definitely recommend attacking a Conqueror as an aircraft carrier. Their AA protection is subpar. As long as you attack quickly, you will be able to take minimal losses. You will take losses as a dive bomber retreating or a torpedo as a retreating, but the initial attack, I don't think that the British battleships will have a lot of success killing you before you get your drop. Not like the Americans. The Americans have a good balance of short, medium, and long DPS. The British long range is really crappy. Their medium and short is fantastic, but that doesn't really help until an enemy is committed to attacking you. If they're committed to attacking other people around you, that doesn't help. So I noticed that there's an enemy gearing trying to hide. I'm going to use my fighters to go detect him. I don't need him to go anti anymore. The Iowa is trying to catch the North Carolina. I'm going to try and help the North Carolina. We do detect the gearing, and now we're going to just keep him detected. Friendly should be able to easily kill this guy. He's not in smoke. He has no way of getting out of this, and I feel for the gearing because this sucks. As the gearing, you feel so helpless. So the plan is set a fire, and the angle I should have approached this guy should have been much, much, much better. I'm not as good as I want to be predicting the location that the target is going to go, but we set 2 fires. That's going to force out a flood. That's going to force out damage control, sorry. We just know it, and we can see it. We're just going to wait. He probably caught sight of the torpedo. Teammates take out the gearing. Fantastic. And this is a game that absolutely we contributed to the success. Conqueror's still going over there. He's away from the Iowa. They can't really enhance their AA protection. Friendlies burn down the Conqueror. I noticed in the top right corner there is no damage counter going up, so that means damage control was used by the Iowa, and I just need to set up a good clean attack, and I think I'll be fine. It's so easy. It's so easy, Notser. Unfortunately, the gearing floods out the Missouri. Now, I think what I should have done, since I don't need to worry about anything else, is I should have pincered this guy instead of tried to use the speed of the aircraft to rotate around. He can always be in the right position to avoid the attack, and I feel like he's committed to a straight line, so I'm like, okay, here's my chance. Here comes the attack. Well, he's sort of lulling me in. I think I set up a little bit too close. There's more than enough time for him, and by the way, you really want to have it to where the torpedoes are in the water right as the indicator, and of course we don't get any flying, right as the indicator is just about to be sailed through by the enemy. You want it to turn yellow just as the torpedoes are hitting the water and just as his nose is entering that indicator field. That seems to create the best drops for me. And clearly, the best of the best drops is when the enemy ship is turning away from your torpedoes and you're coming in at a slight angle so that even your closest ones will activate in time, but he will still be sailing through the field of torpedoes and take every single one. That is obviously a best case scenario. That's not going to happen all the time, but that's the golden drop as a aircraft carrier. And I'm sure many of you already know this, but this is like my 3rd or 4th game in my Taiho, and I was really jazzed about it. It's a great aircraft carrier. I really enjoy it. And if you're going up against me, that's what you want to try and do. You want to try and turn into the torpedoes, not away. Away is the worst thing you can do. If you turn in, it's going to minimize the damage. If you turn away, it's basically like guaranteed maximum damage or near maximum damage. So we're trying to rearm quickly. Teammates are there. You can see how close this game is, and I'm like, hey, capture the base, man. Capture the base. Keeping the target spotted. The teammates can do whatever they want. I'm really nervous that either the Zhao is going to die or the friendly North Carolina is going to die. And if, for whatever reason, the Iowa survives, because we basically have one more attack run on this guy, with a 2 base to 1 advantage, they win. They win the game. But thankfully, friendlies are healthy. The friendly North Carolina captures the base, and we're going to drop on this guy. And the drop should be able to do pretty fair damage. I definitely need to do a better job of keeping my attacks together, because I take so much unnecessary damage on the initial attack. It really hurts my overall goal. I just need to group them up tight. Just have a good habit of grouping them up tight at the start, or whenever I'm about to send them. But we did 145,000 damage, 19 torpedo hits, 3 kills. I felt like I contributed. I just don't understand the XP that aircraft carriers earn. It just feels low for what you did. I helped keep people alive, and I spotted a ton. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing the Taiho. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.